What's up, Devils? J-Dog back to answer some more goddamn questions out here in motherfucking Phoenix, Arizona. So even out here giving you guys a fucking video. No slack fuckery over here. Give you a video no matter where the fucking location is, right? You ain't seeing no goddamn head or fucking stupid ass Ohio State's jerseys or fucking Brown jersey out like you do in the goddamn land. Nothing but a bunch of goddamn hanging out with the fucking Cowboys over here. So definite different scenery than the fucking shitty ass fucking land. Anyways, pulled up the next video in line, just went to the next question marks too. But before I do that, I printed off from Yasin Abdullah again. He sent me this a few days ago. I said, yeah, next time I'm doing videos, I was like, I'll probably be out in Phoenix. So I'm leaving in a few days. So here the fuck I am. So just as promised, I printed off his questions. I don't remember what they are at all, but there's a fucking few of them. It's from he says, here are some questions for your poser booty fest that you call metal channel. He's the guy, Roots, bloody Roots. I definitely did one video on him for sure, answering one's questions, and maybe even two. But here we are again. Let's see what the fuck he has to say. He has 5 goddamn total questions. So shit, this might even take the whole goddamn video. Depends on how the fucking rants go. You know how those, they pop out of nowhere, right? Number 1, you want to be known as Hellmart, a metal label that carries everything, and you love to sock it to that bitch JC. Having said that, would HHR ever carry Christian metal bands? Would you ever sign a Christian metal band? You have mentioned Believer and Mortification before, so I was just curious. That's a pretty damn good question. Never really thought about it. I mean, carrying it, well, we have carried it, so that's because we've carried Mortification. I don't know if we carried Believer or not. Where I got my CD, because I own it, was it Failed Extraction? Is that what it's called again? It's been quite some time since I've listened to it. But that's the one I own. Don't own anything by Mortification, but I did go listen to the last thing we got in was a double disc. I think it was like an older discography disc, maybe their demos and shit. I was like, oh, it is pretty good. It's definitely not bad. So we obviously have carried at least a Christian band. I'm sure there's a few others that fell through the grapevine that I don't even know who the fuck they are, right? I mean, hell, technically people say that fucking Incubus, when they changed the name to Opprobrium, and even when they were Incubus on Serpent Temptation, people say that was a Christian band. So, so let's use them as an example. If a band was very much like Incubus, Serpent Temptation, and that same vibe where it didn't come off as cheeseball, and it wasn't directly obvious, and they weren't just a bunch of fucking pink panty wearing fucking tampon boys about it, talking about their Lord and Savior, then yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with it, because the way Incubus does it, because people even said in the comments, Serpent Temptation, what do you mean those lyrics are Christian? If they are, it did come off as obvious and stupid. So I'd have no problem with that, yeah. I would, hell, if even before Relapse, if we were given the offer to re-release that, I definitely would have. I would have done a better job than fucking Relapse, personally. Would have done a LP on limited color vinyl, 100 pictures of that banger, and then a CD like they did. That's what we had done, so people say that's a Christian metal album, so that I'd have no problem working with that. So, so there's kind of your, but yeah, not no, where they're like that unblack metal, and they're just being a bunch of fucking little girls about it. When it comes off as kind of clever and it's still kind of a dark topic, but maybe they're singing about like biblical times or something, that could be kind of cool. So it'd have to be something that that works. But other than that, no. And as far as carrying it, we have. So number 2. So Cannibal are one of your favorite bands. Let's say their next album had clean singing, or a ballad. Shit, should have brought the goddamn shades. Fucking eyes are killing me out here in this motherfucking goddamn Phoenix sun. Even though it's not that cold out here, though. It's like probably 60 degrees out here. But goddamn, it's a brazen motherfucker. Hopefully it picks up on camera okay. Clean singing or something atrocious like that. Would you still buy the album? How would that change your opinion of the band? Basically, the question is, how badly can your favorite band fuck up on an album before you give them the boot? So, I mean, when I give the band the boot, I just give them the boot from that album on. I don't give them the boot permanently to where I don't buy anything from here on out. You know what I mean? So, like, I wouldn't get rid of previous catalog. It'd be like, so if the next album, if it was just complete garbage, I just leave it at that, which, I mean, let's call it like it is. Most fucking bands are. Like, I didn't buy the latest Carcass record, but I don't get rid of Symphonies of Sickness and shit. Slayer's got that terrible Diabolos Music album. I still own the first 3 Slayer albums. Morbid Angel, we know how shitty they went. I still own Ultras of Madness, Blessed of the Sick, Abominations, you know what I mean? All the good shit. So they don't get the boot per se. They just get, all right, well, I'm done with that. To be completely honest with you, I have actually kind of wondered. I was like, when's it going to be to where Cannibal puts out something completely embarrassing? Now, I don't think that they will, though, because he was even a Corpse Grinder told me in person. Even this was back, I think it was on the Gorbsess tour when he told me. First time I met him was on the Bloodthirst tour. That's the first time I saw Cannibal was in 2001. But saw him a few times at the Gorbsess tour, and he mentioned that it got brought up by somebody. I think it was another fan, and I was sitting there just shooting the shit with them, like because when they covered the Metallica No Remorse song, and something about being on MTV or whatever, and he brought up that they would never have fucking female vocals, they would never do keyboards, never have love songs, ballads. They just flat out they would just never fucking do that. And it's funny because he said that. I specifically remember saying that. Don't quote me. I don't know if it's exact words, but something along those lines is what he definitely fucking said. And it's funny. That was that 03 or so? It's goddamn 20 years ago, and definitely stood true to that. And let's face it, how many more albums are they realistically going to do? So they don't have that much more time to fuck it up. And those guys are getting all kind of fucking old. So I mean, let's say they go to their early 60s. That's another 10 years. So they don't got a whole lot of time to fuck it up. So very good chance that I don't think they're going to do anything. The worst case scenario I think they'll do is they'll just put out an album. I'm like, it's a little too technical for my taste and a little boring. Just like on songs like, albums like Kill and shit. I like that album, but it does have some songs I think are a little fucking kind of filler. Same with the Visceration Plague. Some of the songs just aren't as strong. I don't think there's any songs that suck. There's a couple on like Wretched Spawn too, where I'm like, it's just not their strong. I think the title track of the Wretched Spawn isn't the greatest fucking song. It's definitely not a bad song. I just don't think it's one of their strongest songs. To me, it's a little filler, which is funny because they play that one live all the time. So apparently they think that's one of their hits. And it's just funny because I'm like, from that album, I was like, so you think that song's better than Severed Headstoning? You think it's better than They Deserve to Die, Decency Defied? I was like, in my opinion, no fucking way. I think those songs off Wretched Spawn specifically destroy the title track. So yeah, that was the worst I've ever seen them do. Was just filler songs. But I mean, that's kind of to be expected when you're on. What are they on? Album number 15, something like that, right? You're not going to have every song which is strong as the next, but they don't have a single album that I think completely fucking sucks balls at all by any stretch. I like every single album, but so I think that'd be the worst that they would do. They would just put something out that's where all the songs to me are a little just too filler. I don't see them fucking doing a goddamn Mushroom Head type album, Slayer Diabolus, or a Korn sounding record, or No Love Lost like Carcass or Keyboards. Not that I'm Dawn of the Dead and I have a problem with keyboards, but if Cannibal start using them, like, what the fuck, what? Album number 16, now you bust out keyboards? Like, well, obviously this isn't the goddamn Cannibal formula, so it's not that it would be necessarily a bad song if they did. It's just like, what the fuck? This doesn't sound like Cannibal. Like, what am I listening to? So it'd be almost shock value for that. So, anyways, third goddamn question. I don't think you showed your Carcass bootlegs. Would love to see those and the Merciful Fate bootlegs. Yeah, I guess I didn't show those. Slayer I did. Showed the Cannibal boots, didn't I? Deicide boots. What are the last 3 albums that you purchased for your collection? They don't have to be bootlegs, just the last 3, any format. The very last 3? I'd have to say one of them is the Miasmatic Necrosis LP that I bought at the show and had the guy sign. I showed you that on camera. Very last 3 that I fucking bought. See what qualifies too, what came through the shop that I get. Like when I think buying too, I think about what did I actually go on to another location again. I mean, granted, I had to pick it up from Hells, but it's like, was that a shopping experience? But I guess I'll just include those too because of stuff that I picked up. But yeah, Miasmatic and what the fuck else? Definitely wouldn't have been like the New Dark Funeral. That wouldn't have been the last 3 I picked up stuff since then. What was the last? Shit, I'm drawing a goddamn blank. I did pick up, and I'd have to say it's probably my favorite release of 2020-22. Probably show it on camera and show. Maybe I'll do a review of favorites in general. But I picked up the new Pharmacist album. We did the cassette version of it, and Severed Records did the CD version of it. And we didn't get any through Hells. Chase says fucking Barrett doesn't reply to our goddamn emails. So Barrett, if you don't reply to Hells, you don't trade with us. What's cool? What's up, brah? Met you in person, Maryland. Is there a beef? Is there got a tiff? Chase says you haven't replied in 2 fucking years. Reply, goddammit, we're on trade. Could use 30 copies of that new Pharmacist on CD. Anyways, we did the cassettes and the LP. I think it's supposed to be out next month. Pumped about that. The Flourishing Extremities of Medical Garden, or whatever else. It's a super long title. That's probably my favorite release of 2020-22. But I went and I bought that. I don't know if it came directly from Severed. I think I bought it on Discogs rebate. Forget, but that I had that mail order to ship to me. So I bought that because I saw it wasn't coming in the CDs. I just figured they're coming through Hells, and then I asked Chase when he told me that. So I was like, "Fuck this! I'm just buying the goddamn thing." So I think that was one of the last three as well. And but that was probably, as far as releases, the 2020-22, the new Pharmacist. I would have to say that's probably my favorite goddamn release. In case you happen to give a goddamn fuck. But yeah, just never got medicinal. So yeah, Barrett, what the fuck? Contact us, goddamn it. Want to fucking trade? Chase says you don't reply for shit. So that. Miasmatic Necrosis, and I'll just throw them out there because something else that's not talking about the same bands. It was definitely probably not the last three, but probably about 2 months ago. I told you guys, the Cleveland band that used to always play here, Somnus from Cleveland. Back in the day, they used to play here live all the time, and I used to remember like, not really, just didn't really. I like the people in the band. Remember, Scott and Steve and Rhea, they were always cool and friendly folks, and see them all the time at shows. Talked to them several times, liked them as people, but I remember the band not doing much for me. But I was like, just childhood years and seeing them when I was 14, 15, 16. I mean, I've seen them several times. They opened up for so many goddamn bands. They have 2 albums, a CD. You could easily fucking find them. I went and bought both of those on eBay for like $8 or something. You know what I mean? And I've been listening to those. I think they're good. And it's funny because I was like, I don't know. I don't know why I didn't like them back in the day. I was like, there's total like it's basically we were fans of like Cradle of Filth, like early Cradle of Filth, Dame Borger, Old Man's Child, stuff like that, which, as you guys know, I like that stuff. The early albums by those bands, it's totally for that fan base, and there's something enslaved in there, like enslaved influences, fucking Satyricon, that type of stuff. You can hear some Emperor parts. So I thought those 2 albums were really good, but they're not the last of the last 3 I bought, but very recently, like I said, 2 months ago, I think. So I'll put those in there just because it's a band. To bring up Pharmacist and me and that man, Necrosis seems like those are the bands I'm always bringing up anyway. So throw it into something that it was very recent, not last 3, but bands you haven't talked about. So if you like any of that kind of type of black metal, check out the goddamn Cleveland band from the land back in the late '90s, 2 goddamn thousands. Like I said, the CDs are out of print, but like I said, I got them easily. I got them in 2 clicks on fucking eBay. Like I think it's for $8 each or some shit. You can easily find them on Discogs too, I'm sure. So if you like that kind of black metal, like I said, the what would be considered the sissy black metal, the keyboard black metal, the watered down black metal, but J Dog likes some of that too. Goddamn it, even though people say he doesn't, but he does. Even though he said he does a million fucking times, go give them a fucking check out too. Goddamn it. Number 4. Razor are one of my favorite thrash bands, and I own the new album, but it was probably my biggest disappointment of 2022. Yeah, I don't think I listened to new Razor yet. Although that did come in through, didn't Relapse put that out? We did get those in, but I did not listen to it. Not that I wasn't planning on listening to it, but I might. But I just kind of forgot about it, to be honest with you. The production was terrible, and they had plenty of time to get it right. Do you have any albums that you were anticipating this year that just kind of fell flat when you put them on? Albums I was anticipating. So what came out by bands that I like? Immolation, Dark Funeral, Pharmacist. Those are bands that I was already previously a fan of that put out new albums this year. Who else do I like that put out albums this year? Still no goddamn King Diamond. Still no Merciful Fate. No DSI. No Cannibal. Cannibal was last year, right? Last year, the year before. Shit, I think it was the year before. I think it was 2020, right? What are the bands put out an album this year that I like? Technically speaking, the new Satanic Warmaster is supposed to come out. I like that single, the Baphomet, the mini EP that came out, the Baphomet. Thought that was good. So looking forward to the full length of that. So it seems like all the bands that I liked prior that did a new album, the new Yimer, I thought that was good. I liked the second album better than I liked the first one. Not that I thought the first one was good as well, but I thought the second album was even better. The only thing I didn't like is I didn't like the aesthetic of the cover. At first, it looked like, God damn, this kind of looks like almost like The Covenant or something. You know what I mean? Not quite that fucking bad, but just looked a little, I don't know, a little bit computerized to me. But I put it out. Oh, this album was good. So bands that I was already liked that put out albums this year. No, I don't think there was anybody major that put out anything completely disappointing. There might be somebody I'm forgetting, but so far as far as stuff that I was kind of like looking forward or I checked out that came out this year, 2022. I pretty much liked. That was cool. So 5 and final questions. 5th and final question. Any shows coming up that you will be attending? Any 2023 releases that you are looking forward to, HHR releases or otherwise? Shows coming up. It's funny because I actually kind of was talking to, forget who, but because somebody asked, yeah, what's the next show you're going to? I was like, you know what? I was like, all in 2022, it seemed like there's a goddamn show every fucking. I was going to a show like almost every other fucking weekend. It seemed like. Went that this year, 2022, I definitely went to the most amount of shows in my adult years in quite some time. Definitely the most amount of shows I went to this year in the last 10 years, without a doubt. And that wasn't because intentional. There was just that much shit that kind of came through. You know what? Actually, it just got announced, and I'm kind of fucking I wouldn't go as far as saying fucking PO, but kind of what the fuck. And I texted Emma. She actually never replied, which is kind of weird. She usually replies within like fucking 5 minutes. That got announced the Chrissy Invader tour. I definitely like to go to that, but there's no Cleveland dates. I'd like to go to that, and I'd like to interview Chrissy for sure. Wouldn't mind interviewing Vader either. Either it's just Chrissy super realistic, because the guys know who the fuck I am. I've met Peter a few times, but he doesn't know. It's definitely Hells Who and fucking J Dog who, for sure. Christian at least knows who the fuck we are, and they definitely know who we are. We put out the goddamn LPs. They 1,000% know who we are. And I've met them several times and hung out with them. So I'm 99.9% positive they would say yes if I asked them. But there was no Cleveland show, so I texted Emma. I was like, "Hey, can you try to get this at No Class?" And it was at No Class. That's where Christian played just 2-3 months ago. And actually, it's funny because Moises told me about this tour coming up. He's like, just don't say anything yet until it's official, because I think things weren't signed. I was like, yeah, who am I going to say? Granted, I was like, I guess I could say something on my channel, but if he said not to, I was like, okay, then I won't. Which I didn't until now, because it's fucking announced. But, so I saw that got announced. I think it was like last week or 2 weeks ago from the time I'm recording this video. And yeah, there's no goddamn Cleveland date. I think there was a Detroit show, which I would not be against again going, but I think it might be on a shit night. I'm not driving to fucking Detroit on a Tuesday or basically weeknight. If it's not anything other than Friday or Saturday, I'm not driving there for Chrissy and Invader. Not because they're not worth it. It's because I've seen them both a million fucking times. And to me, it's kind of fucking bullshit and a half. They come to Cleveland. So I did text Emma, told her to try to get that goddamn tour package at the fucking Class. I was like, it probably would sell out. And if it's at there, it should be very, very easy for me to interview them. So that's the only show I know about that I even heard about of interest. But I'm sure shit will come up. But that's okay, because it was a little bit of a break. Because like I said, I was going to a goddamn show like every other weekend, and it was kind of getting to the point where it was almost too much, because just busy-wise, I got other shit in life going on. I'm just going to fucking shows all the time. So a little bit of a break was fine. But yeah, other than even the next 4 to 6 weeks, I don't know of anything. I'm sure there might be something that pops up that I hear about. And as far as 2023 releases, didn't Deicide say they're doing a new album? I will definitely check that out. Now I hear things in the I didn't pick up on that. Some people said in the interview that that fucking goddamn deathcore guy that just basically heard Deicide yesterday, but act like their biggest fan. First time I'm seeing you. It's like, you're my age, dude. How'd you never see Deicide before? I'm talking about the interview that came out this year that I told you guys about. So people said that Glenn said in there that there's going to be some like prog type influential parts. I don't remember him saying that. Granted, I only listened to the interview once, and I'll probably do an emails or something in the background, so I didn't pick up on that. I hope there's no bullshit like that. So I'm going to go as far as saying worried. I'm not losing sleep or anything like that. There better not be any experimental fucking bullshit garbage on it. But nonetheless, regardless, if it's the suckiest album in the world, the greatest album in the world, I'm definitely going to check it out. New Deicide coming out without a shadow of a doubt. So looking forward to that. HHR releases, like I said, the new Pharmacist LP, which is the CD I already own, a cassette we did. That'll be out, I think, in a month or two. Spider is supposed to be out in January, end of January. By the time this video will go up in January, so this month. By the time you guys are watching this, end of this month, because we're already taking pre-orders. I think it's already manufactured, just waiting for the plant to ship it to us. So definitely looking forward to that. So Spider LP, Pharmacist LP, new Deicide. Is Merciful Fate or King Diamond supposed to come out in 20? Dude, talk about a fucking. If it's just, at least the new King Diamond. Maybe the Fate I'll give them a pass because they didn't release a single yet. But so 2019 was Masquerade of Madness. Are we gonna go all 2023 with no fucking new Merciful Fate album? If so, dude, somebody just needs to be fucking bitch slapped for that. I mean, how goddamn ridiculous is that? It's 4 full years. What's it gonna be? 2024. 5 years later, when a song's literally already recorded, the album had to have been written. They had to have had those songs all written by the time they were ready to release a single, and they did a tour at that time. Had to have. So it's like, what the fuck is the holdup? A year, maybe, not 5. So are we gonna? I would assume. I would certainly fucking hope so. Assume the new goddamn King Diamond. And if that's the case, that'd probably be the album I'm looking most forward to. The 2000, yeah, the new King Diamond, probably more so than Deicide, only because it's been so long since a King Diamond album, and because the Masquerade of Madness I actually thought was a really good song. So definitely looking forward to what the rest of the album is. And I'm a little, kind of on edge, a little skeptical with the Deicide. Almost kind of don't want to come out when I heard that in my comments. He's doing some progressive type shit. Fucking, there better not be no goddamn Rush riffs or any fucking stupid shit that's not Deicide whatsoever in there. Um, a goddamn Tool sounding part, I would definitely be disappointed. Let's just fucking say that. So there better not be any of that goddamn fucking BS in there. So it's kind of like walking on eggshells. Like, yeah, I'm looking forward to a new Deicide, but at the same time, is it going to fucking suck? I don't want them doing anything goddamn stupid. As opposed to King Diamond, pretty goddamn confident because already one song is out, and I thought it was very, very good. So, yeah, pretty confident that'll be good. So if that comes out this year, I would say that'd be the number one looking most forward to. Because like technically Spider and Pharmacist, I have. I mean, I have CDs of both of them, but vinyls, I am for sure looking forward to them. Anyways, that's it for this one. Those 5 questions knocked out the whole goddamn fucking video. Comments, questions, concerns, you know what the fuck to do. Put in the comments box, get an answer right in the morning. Later, goddamn it.